Congress, the Tennessee 4th District, Jacob.
Hey, y'all. How's your morning going?
It is going really good. How's your morning going so far?
It's cold, so I've been staying indoors today.
Oh, I know, right? Like we just did the weather a few minutes ago, and I know it's 50 degrees outside, but it's just when that wind picks up, it's cold. It's just cold. So for the folks out there, for the first time hearing your name, tell everybody, because I know this answer is probably going to be one of the longest ones right now. Who is Jacob Anders, and why are you running for Congress?
Well, I am an author and historian on the side. I've been involved in politics since 2008 for Ron Paul's original run. He inspired me as an anti-war candidate. And when he kind of left politics, I saw Bernie Sanders being anti-war. I was very interested in his campaign. I tried helping him out against Hillary Clinton, and we all know how that went. What inspired me to run this year specifically was the new war between Israel and Iran. My generation was already sent to Iraq and Afghanistan to die for pretty much nothing. We gained nothing from Afghanistan. What have we gained from Iraq? The use of their airspace to go bomb Iran. And some people are talking about a ground invasion. Some people are saying ground invasion would never happen. I think we need leaders in Congress that will stop war and bring peace to our nation. My other call to run is healthcare. I want universal healthcare, not just Medicare, Medicaid expansion. I want the KISS system for healthcare. And as a lot of people know, KISS stands for Keep It Simple, Stupid.
Yeah.
So my vision for healthcare for the entire United States in Tennessee is you go to your doctor, you swipe your little American healthcare card that you as a citizen have a right to. You go see your doctor. Your information stays private between you and your doctor. And then you leave. No copays. You just leave. And obviously, we can't have people just all showing up to the gastro person saying, "Oh, my stomach hurts." Like, you're still going to need referrals, so we don't have a clogged system like the United Kingdom. Like, they have an insane wait time. Like, they have universal health care, but you can't see a doctor.
Yeah.
Luckily, in the United States, we attract from all around the world the best and brightest people that want to be doctors. Like, a lot of us go to the doctor, and your doctor is some guy from India. His name might be a little hard to say, but he's a really smart guy.
Yeah.
My other calls to run are home ownership. I know the silent generation and boomers had a great system for getting their first home, for the mortgage to be affordable, because today's situation for Gen Z, Millennials, Gen X that's still looking for homes, your rent payment for an apartment is higher than what a mortgage would be for a 3-bedroom house.
And I think that kind of goes back on like what you were talking about, some of the main focuses that we saw on your website, which Brian is sharing the Facebook page and the website page. So thank you, Brian, for doing that. Can you talk, that goes back, I guess, to the universal basic income, right? That you were talking about?
Yes, that's not a day one goal. That is a long-term goal. Universal basic income was first championed in the United States by presidential candidate Andrew Yang. And the Democratic Party kind of pushed him to the side, and his message started to die down. But then President Trump and President Biden sent us stimulus checks, proving that a universal basic income is possible in theory. So when do we need a universal basic income?
Okay.
That's going to be when the AI revolution gets so far that white-collar jobs just start disappearing. And they're already starting to disappear.
Yeah.
If you've been keeping up with AI, like maybe 2022, 2023, you try to create a picture and it looks like something weird with like 20 fingers. You remember that?
Oh yeah.
Now that's not a problem anymore. The AI creates photorealistic. It can create an image of you doing
Oh,
anything.
what
It's
exactly. And AI, to everybody that does not realize this, AI has been used since the beginning of online anything. Anyways, you got Google that keeps your searches history. You got Netflix that sees the shows that you like. You have purchase history from Amazon. I mean, AI started very small, right? And it just continues to grow and grow and grow. I mean, even with, the stuff that Elon Musk and them put out about these robots and things like, I mean, just the things that you can do. I mean, as a mom that does washing clothes for a living, I saw the other day somebody, because I talked about it, I said, I wish I had a washing machine and a dryer that could wash, dry, and fold. And I kid you not, the next day, this Kickstarter, kid you not, kid you not. And I was like, man, and let me tell you, Jacob, it was so tempting to be like, ooh. I was like, but again, this is all a part of AI. All this, the intellect. And again, you know who's feeding this AI? It's us.
yes.
It's
The
us.
AI you first talked about with the cookies and your browsing data,
Yeah.
and they call it the algorithm, where it would show
Yeah.
you what you're going to see first based on how outraged it's going to make you, or maybe it's a very cute picture of a puppy or a kitty.
Yeah.
So now we have something called LLMs, language learning models. That's ChatGPT, and ChatGPT was, it was okay. It could tell you a lot of things, but then we got Grok, Gemini,
Yes.
Perplexity, Claude. These are the things that can
Centennial.
replace.
Yeah.
This is what's going to replace white collar work. I mean,
Yeah.
my physical therapist, she's like, yeah, the AI summarizes all my notes and saves me a ton of time.
Yeah.
So, and to
And
people that, go ahead.
no, you go ahead. Finish your thought. It's okay.
And to the people that say, well, we need to ban AI. Well, if you do that, guess who's going to still be making AI? China, Japan, Europe, Russia, Egypt, Saudi Arabia. Like, AI is coming. You can't stop it.
Yeah.
The main concern about AI data centers raising our electricity rates, that's something we can address.
Yeah.
Because, these centers come in, they're like, oh, you got cheap electricity in the South. How about we use it? You use all your water and whatnot. And then it raises rates for average people. And we're like, no, 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 no.
Yeah.
So AI needs to coexist with America, not America laying down for AI to just sap all of our resources.
Yeah. And that kind of goes to the next thing. Talk about digital privacy. That was another thing I saw on your sites.
This is something most candidates do not talk about. Digital privacy is a lot. They have much higher standards in Europe. They have something called the right to be forgotten. So let's say you did something stupid in 2006 or 2008, and there's a news article about it, and you're like, okay, well, I'm a different person now, but this is still like the number one thing that comes up in Google search engine for me.
Mm-hmm.
So if you try to get a job, you send in your resume, well, they're going to Google you. And it's like, they see, 2006, went streaking at the Super Bowl or something.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Right. And it's like, maybe you were young and dumb and now you're 40. Like, that's not you anymore. Well, in Europe, they have the right to be forgotten. So once something is just so old and not relevant to the public interest anymore, it gets de-indexed from the search engines. Even their media websites take stuff down. Now, if you're like a serial killer, like, Jeffrey Dahmer or somebody crazy, that's still public interest. I mean, who doesn't love a good crime junkie binge?
I mean, yes, I love my, watching what is it, Netflix monster series, documentaries, whatever that, we all do it. We all do it. But let me ask you this, because you're throwing out a lot of stuff that a lot of people may not have heard. They might have either heard it for the first time, or they might have heard it and they're like, oh man, this doesn't really sound realistic, right? Like the stuff you're spewing. So what do you say to voters that may feel that way right now?
Well, I agree with them. Some of the stuff I'm pushing is not popular or widespread across the Democratic or Republican parties. Um, but I want to get it out there. I want to get it in the conversation because 2030 is right around the corner and we're coming into a very, very different economy. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't see the Democratic or Republican parties having plans for AI for the day when the white collar jobs are gone. I mean, if you're blue collar and you're out there, building, doing construction, your job's safe for the most part. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm sure the AI people are trying to make robots that can just do stuff and just, print out a house.
Yeah.
I know manufactured homes, they pretty much do that now.
Mm-hmm.
They're
Oh,
really, the new manufactured home double wides are really good. I mean, it's wild.
yeah. And I wanted to also bring this back to Warren County because of course we do serve this show serves a lot of Warren Countyans here. What is one thing you would push immediately that would directly impact the people right here in Warren County locally, you think?
Well, as you know, unfortunately, McMinnville does get the nickname McMethville by other people outside the area.
Yeah.
And we need to address not only the opioid epidemic, but the meth epidemic. When you throw these meth users in jail, they go to jail, they get out, they're broke, they're still addicted, and they go right back to crime, property crime, theft, just things that are harmful to society. So I want not necessarily to be institutionalized, but these people need to be in a psych ward where they can get the medical attention and the therapy they need to get off of this stuff and get back into a normal life.
Yeah.
My mother, she was a psychiatric nurse. She's told me a lot about these people, the delusions they have when they come in there and how she tries to help them. Just, I'm sure many people have heard that when you put a criminal in jail, they just learn how to be a better criminal. They start talking to other criminals and start learning tips and tricks.
Yeah.
And do you want a meth head learning tips and tricks on how to do more crime? I mean, it's just a never-ending cycle.
I agree. And that's why I really enjoyed going to a lot of the community events here. We have a lot of locally, I would suggest calling folks like Randy England, one of our county commissioners here. They're working on a type of transitional something because one of the things that a lot of people brought up when they go to jail and they get out of jail, they've hit rock bottom to the point they've burnt all the bridges to their friends and family that don't do drugs. That who's the phone call that they're going to make, right?
Exactly.
So they're going to call their drug dealer. They're going to call who they sold drugs to, or and so in order to break the cycle, we have to create a solution, and that's why Jackie Matheny Jr., our sheriff, and a lot of our county commissioners and our county executive are getting together to create a transitional housing type of deal where once they do serve their time, they can go to and we're trying to, I hate calling it a halfway house, but once they get into there not just in the halfway house, but also in the jail itself, they're going to be learning skills like that you learn at TCAT and, those white collar, blue collar type jobs. So when they get out, they can go boom, here's my new job, and so there is just to give you a little information of what's happening here, and then the other thing I do know about is I've seen, and maybe you've seen this too, a huge uprise in faith-based programs. Just the other day, I did, it was a week or two ago, it was over 11 faith-based, rehab type programs came out and talked about what you're saying about helping these guys out. And half of the people that are starting these programs were drug users or addicts, I should say addicts, because there was different types of addictions. Let me say that. They were addicts at some point. And the only way they got clean is by these faith-based programs. And I see this being an uprise, and I hope that it keeps going and helps out these people, because they said not only is it a job search. It's about finding shelter, finding a job, finding people to be around to keep them on their toes. Somebody that's also going to be putting up with when I come down off stuff and I want to go back. That's my rant about it. I like when you talk about it, I'm like, I know all about that. But no, that is such a great thing. And before I forget to also ask you this, and I should have asked you at the beginning, a lot of the questions is, as far as what you're running, what affiliate are you running as?
You're talking about the party situation?
Party sitch, because I just want people to understand what you're going through in the nicest way possible, if you can. And then, and say why you're going down the path you are now.
All right. So I believe it was in 2020, they passed a Tennessee law for the Republican and Democrat parties that you have to be bona fide. And bona fide means voting in 3 out of 5 of the last primaries held. Okay. And a lot of people don't know about, your May primaries, this primary, that primary. A lot of people aren't motivated if there's not a candidate to bring you out. The Republican Party kicked a lot of people off the ballot, but then it allowed them back on for a donation to the Tennessee Republican Party. So a lot of people got back on that way. Now, the Tennessee Democratic Party, they just kick you off. And then there's an appeal. You have to have 48 hours to go to Nashville, file an appeal. And they held the appeal on a broken Zoom link on a Sunday. And most of us are churchgoers, and that's not good. I mean, Saturday would have been better. And I alerted them about the broken Zoom link. So they fixed that, 30 minutes into it, 30 minutes before the meeting was supposed to happen. And it was just so weird. It was like people that have never operated a Zoom meeting were operating it. And they were asking me questions I was unprepared for. They started bringing up my social media history, asking, why are you so pro Second Amendment? Like you say, the Democratic Party doesn't tell you what to do, and your gun policy is your own gun policy. I'm a candidate. I'm allowed to have my own platform. And I showed them that despite I voted in a Tennessee Democratic primary in 2020, and then I voted in Alabama's 2024 Democratic primary because my mother had died and I had to go down to Huntsville to manage her estate. And when the primary was happening, I was like, okay, I don't want to drive all the way back up to Tennessee to go cast a vote that doesn't matter. So I voted Marianne Williamson as a little protest vote against Joe Biden because I saw his decline and I was like, come on, guys, somebody.
Yeah.
So now me, Elizabeth Stevens, Brenda Woods, a lot of other people that got kicked off the Tennessee Democratic primary ballot, we have filed a lawsuit and an injunction to keep us on the ballot. The hearing, I believe, is April 8th. Elizabeth Stevens she's the smart military Marine veteran woman that knows how to handle this stuff, and she lives in Nashville, so she's able to follow this stuff. I would love to get her on your show so she can explain it all to you, especially once this goes through. I don't have faith in this lawsuit winning because state parties are kind of just allowed to do whatever they want. So I've also filed as a write-in candidate for the general election in November for District 4. Okay. So if they
as an independent?
Yes, as an independent.
Okay.
So I will have the same platform, same me, same everything. You'll just have to write me in if you want me in there. And if enough conservatives, liberals, and independents and moderates are like, you know what, put this guy in, I'll be in there.
Okay. Well, again, I absolutely had a blast talking with you on today's show. Any final thoughts of why people should vote for Jacob Anders for the 4th district?
Kelly, we have a question.
Oh, sorry.
Jacob, tell us about your hat.
This hat, I hope it's the right way for the audience, but it stands for Make America Think Harder. This was the hat that Andrew Yang handed out when he was running his 2020 campaign.
Yeah.
It's sat in my garage for 6 years, and now I'm wearing it for my own campaign.
I love that. I was like, I just thought it looked like a regular a meth hat, you know.
It gets attention at meetings.
I love that.
But to answer your question as to why people should vote for me, or if it comes down to it, write me in, I've promised to serve only 3 terms in Congress. That's 6 years to make my mark and then get out of there. I don't like career politicians. Scott Desjardins, I consider him a career politician because he originally ran with, I want term limits. I want, to do this and do that. And he's still in there. And every 2 years, he comes back to Tennessee, files his petition to be on the ballot. So, it's not like he's just automatically being put back in there. He's making the effort to go to Nashville and do that.
Yeah, I agree. And, I'm a big firm believer on term limits, no career politicians. And I have seen not just you, but several people that not just on the Republican side or the Democratic side, but also the independents, everybody. It just seems like that is the biggest cry right now is term limits. Every debate I've been at for the past 3 months has been, what's your thoughts on term limits? And everybody was like, well, this is all I want to do. And I think that's great because here's my thing on term limits, and I'll end with this on my end if Brian wants to chime back in, is as we grow as a nation, the way that the thinking also grows, right? Because if you don't keep growing and moving forward and you sit in stagnant water, something's going to fall off or die, right? They only can live for so long. So when we have these, and I do not mean this in any ill respect, but when we have people in there that maybe, I'm just going to go as high as this, 65 and older in those seats, there's this other generation that's in their mid-30s and up that's like, okay, why are you thinking that way? Well, here's what I'm going to tell you mid-30s and up. If you don't like how the nation is ran, in order to be the change or to make change, you have to be the change, right? If you don't like how the seats are set up at church, well, go be a part of the church committee chair, folks, okay? That's how this is going to change. And again, I say this, and I think Jacob and Brian can agree with me on this. They are not our bosses. We are. We are the ones that vote these people in because we believe, thank you, we believe that they are going to make the right decisions for us based on what we have been told or what we hear. And let me tell you, that's what I do not like about politics in general, is somebody tells me one thing and does another, right? And I'm like, hey. And that's why people are now, like Jacob and everybody that I've talked to, all we want is transparency and truth. Some stuff you're going to tell us we're not going to like. And that's normal. If you got children and you're raising your kids and you tell them no, they're not going to like it sometimes, right? That's such is life. But at the end of the day, that's what we need to do as a nation, as voters. That's what we need to do. Go ahead, Brian.
Oh, that's what I was going to say about the Epstein files. A lot of people, we need to know what's going on in our government. And I don't care what side of the aisle that you're on. People need transparency. And it's refreshing to especially as Jacob, you may not know this, but I'm the vice chair of the Warren County Republican Party here in this county. But we're sick of people sitting in office for years and years and years. And we have a candidate here locally that's running in the primary against Desjardins. And we get tired of this. We get tired of being lied to. Most of us are libertarians. We're just Christian conservative libertarians. And the only way to get the change is to go through the Republican Party. And we see your plight on the Democratic side as well. We want this comment just came in. Amen. The people want to know. We want to know what's going on in our government. We don't like shadow governments and military black ops that are going to help other countries that we have no interest in, that we have no political sway in. They're leading us like APAC. A lot of us like Thomas Massey, and even on the Democrat side, Ro Khanna, and a lot of the movement there. So we're picking up what you're putting down.
Are you a big Ron Paul fan?
Oh,
yes, big Ron Paul fan, but a big Thomas Massey fan.
See, I think that's why I'm getting such great traction among moderates and conservatives against Scott when I pull it, just me and him, because I have a libertarian background. I mean, I've always said, even since I was like a teenager, if we replace the Democratic and the Republican parties with the Greens and the Libertarians, they're both anti-war. They both care about freedom and for the people. Like our only arguments would be taxes and social programs. That's what we'd be arguing about.
Yeah. Well, it has been an awesome time talking with Jacob Anders. He is running again for the U.S. Congress for the Tennessee 4th District. And keep us updated on your journey. You got my number now. I got your email. And let us know as this progresses on your journey, because we'd like to, follow up with it since you said it's on April the 8th. So it's coming up. So good luck to you and everybody that's on that lawsuit. But with that said, we're going to take another quick break from a word from our sponsors. And before I forget to mention this, guys, if you do have a question for Jacob Anders, please follow him on social media. Can they call you, Jacob?
I have a campaign number. Do y'all want it?
Yeah. Give us your campaign number, bro.
It is 931-534-0278.
78.
I respond to everybody. Might take a little bit of time, but I get there.
Same. Well, guys, it has been a blast, like I said, hanging out with Jacob Anders, and hashtag community first right there. You can see it right on his Facebook page. But we are going to take another quick break from our sponsors, and when we get back, more things to come of what's going on here in Warren County and beyond. But remember, Warren County, keep it first.
Dining in or taking out, we've got something for everyone.
From our mouth-watering brisket, baby back ribs, juicy ribeye steaks, specialty sandwiches, and fried chicken tenders.